Hello everyone, and welcome to Victoria's Action Figure Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Playmates 2012 Classic Series 6-inch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here's a look at the packaging. So the packaging is very classic looking. It certainly evokes the look of the classic line, as well as the 25th anniversary line that came out back in 2009. Very 80s looking, very fun. Absolutely love what they did with the packaging for this series. Alright, so I've had these turtles for about 2 years now. I barely got around to opening them. I guess with the excitement, not particularly my own excitement, but with all the hype surrounding the new Ninja Turtles movie, I thought, hey, why not crank them out of their packages and, finally get a look at them. All four of these turtles are really awesome. These are the kind of things that, as an adult collector, you appreciate having, not only for the nostalgia factor, but also because, of all the level of detail and quality that went into these. And let's kick things off with Raphael. Ever since I was a kid, Raph has always been my favorite turtle. Very nice recreation here of the cartoon Raph. The eyes are a little funny, and that's kind of been an ongoing issue with these classic series Toon Turtles, is that, the eyes are a little funky from turtle to turtle, This Raph, it's okay. The eyes are, a little bit kind of crossed, so, could be better. The shell, I really like the paint on these. The paint on it, like the color of green they used for the skin, and then the mustardy yellow color for the shell. Really nice. And then, it's nice to have the little medallion indicating the letter for their name. This is a look at the back of the shell here. And, there's a few scratches on there, so, it's imperfect. But, it's not horrendous. And then the legs. Raphael, of course, has his red bandana and his red elbow, wrist, and knee pads, denoting his particular favorite color, I assume. And, of course, you get the two sides with Raph, which are very cool looking. I love how on these weapons that the turtles came with, how they incorporated their particular colors, like Raph's handles and his thighs are red, so, that's really cool. Raph also comes with a display stand, and basically it just says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it says his name, Raphael, so pretty easy to keep track of which stand goes with which character. And the peg holes fit perfectly into his feet, so he stands there no problem. And Raph's size can be placed into his little holsters he has there on the belt, and they just slide in like that. And it's a good fit. It's a good fit. They fit in there, comfortably. And let's move on to Donatello. Donatello's always been more of like an olive green kind of color. And they capture that well with the paintwork on his figure. The purple on him's nice. The thing with Don is that he's the most commonly found figure with awful looking paint apps in the eyes. This one's not terribly bad. This one's probably one of the better ones that I've seen, but it's still a little goofy. I mean, they're obviously still kind of jutting off in, different directions, but, it's not horrendous. Donatello's the same exact body, as are all the four of the turtles in this wave. So, the body's going to be the same. The only thing that's going to be different is going to be, the belt. Some of them have the bandolier, the heads, of course, and the accessories, but sculpt is going to be the same across the board, and coloring is different too, of course. And Donnie comes with his bow staff because, well, what else would he come with? And it's nice looking. It's not anything uber fancy. It's a bow staff. You have the white grip right there. I'm surprised it's not purple. He's the only figure that doesn't have this particular color on his weapon. There's a little bit of detail there in the wood. Just kind of give it a little bit of a wood grain kind of look. It's not uber detailed with the paint, but, it's simplistic, and that's one of the charming things about these figures. Donnie comes with his base, which is essentially the same as the rest of the turtles, except it has his name on it. The wash across each swirled base is a little bit different from figure to figure. which is cool. You know, just gives a little bit of a variation across the board. And Donnie's bow staff simply slides in there, and it's a really nice fit. Fits in there without any qualms, and it seems to be holding itself in place. Hopefully over time that doesn't start sliding out or anything, but Leonardo is probably my second favorite turtle. Face is quite well done. Again, you know, the eyes a little bit funky, but you know, certainly not as crazy as Don's eyes. He has the same bandolier that Don had, of course, with the L denoting his name. And, of course, you got the blue bandana. Nice shape to it. I think his is the most relaxed-looking bandana. A little bit more of the blue right there on the sheaths for his swords, which, by the way, you can pull out if you wanted to do. And, you know, there's just a little peg right there, and it slides in just like that. It's a little tricky to get in there because it's not perfectly round. It's kind of like a D shape. Again, same body as the other figures. You know, just the things that make Leo are going to be the differences here. Leo has his two swords, which you know, which incorporate his blue coloring there on the handles, and they're pretty simplistic looking. And you guessed it, you can put the swords in the appropriate sheaths like that. Just kind of slide them in there, and they're in. Looks quite cool. There's Leo's base with his name on it. So, and that brings us to Michelangelo. Michelangelo has his orange coloring, of course. His skin is darker than the other turtles, as it was in the show. It's more of a deeper kind of, I wouldn't quite say a jungle green, but, you know, it's kind of headed in that direction. You know, of all the turtles, I would probably say that Mikey has the best eyes. I mean, and they're not perfect still, but, you know, it does look better. You know, I would kind of wish Mikey might have had maybe a smile, or, you know, just looked a little bit happier. You know, he was quite the goofball in the show. But, you know, this is good too. He's just kind of, you know, he looks pretty serious there, you know, like he's trying to study for a test or something, and Raph's just kind of cracking why did the turtle cross the road type jokes on him. There's the backside of him there. And for the weapons, you know, you get 2 sets of nunchucks, and it's awesome that they put real metal, you know, for the chain links, and, you know, you get the orange detail there for the grips, you know, which are really nice. So, you know, I really like his accessories. I think he probably has the coolest weapons out of all the turtles. And to stow the weapons, you simply slide them back there in the back of the belt. And they are held in very nicely, just like so. Oh, that one's a little stiff, but there you go. You can do that, or you can, you know, put this one in there or in there, you know, however you want to do it. You know, you can get creative with it if you want. Just for no particular reason. I think it looks better the other way, but, you know, you get the idea. And here's Mikey's display base. Articulation on all 4 of the turtles is identical, so I'm only going to do this once, and we'll use Raph, since, once again, he is my favorite. Ball joint here at the head. Doesn't have a whole lot of up and down movement, but, you know, there's a little bit there. He has ball hinges at the shoulders, and a couple of these turtles were very stiff at the shoulders. I had to use some hot water to kind of loosen them up. He has double joints at the elbows, and he has hinges at the wrists so that you can sort of move it, you know, however you want. It's a little stiff too, and you know, you have this part right here, the wristband, so, you know, it makes it a little bit hard to move. And then you get both of the fingers down here are on swivels, and then you have an actual hinge right here at the thumb, and it has a really nice range of movement. Ball hinge right there. Pretty good range of movement too. Hinges at the hips, which also offer a good amount of movement. You have rotations at the thighs. These do look a little weird, so I'm trying not to use those a whole lot. If you just leave it like that, I find that it's plenty enough movement. He has double bends at the knees. He has articulated ankles. And finally, he has articulation at both of the toes. So these turtles are absolutely loaded with articulation, which, is quite awesome. But I find that it also makes it a little bit hard to get them to stand, as well as to pose them holding their weapons. If they just had solid hands where you could, insert the weapon and pull it out, that'd be the easiest thing. But, I do appreciate what Playmates try to do here by, offering us collectors, what most people want these days, which is, lots and lots and lots of articulation. And there you have it. These are the Playmates 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classic Series 6-inch figures. All things considered, these are awesome. If you get one, you have to have all 4 turtles, of course. So, I'm really happy to have these. There's others in the same series. There's Bebop, Rocksteady. You have the 1990 movie Turtles that just came out. And then Comic-Con, they announced Shredder and Krang for next year. So, I'm greatly looking forward to those, especially Shredder. Hopefully they get around to doing a few others. Casey Jones, Abe O'Neil, Splinter, of course. But, these are truly great. I really like them. The paint apps on the eyes are a little funky. But, across the board for the figures, the paint is good. The lines are quite clean. The bandoliers on the figures, the belts, the sculpt work, perfectly adequate for what these guys looked like in the TV show. The weapons are awesome. Absolutely love the weapons that they come with. The articulation is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you can use the articulation to create a wide array of poses and looks with each of the figures. But it's also a curse because it really does hinder their ability to stand easily, and it really affects their ability to hold the weapons without too much trouble. You got to do a lot of work with each of the fingers to get them to hold the weapons, and still look decent. But, on the whole, I really enjoy these, and, I'm really thankful that as an adult collector, I've been waiting for turtle figures like this since I was a kid, so, awesome. Thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, Cowabunga.